All right, good morning, everybody. How we doing? Matt here with OddsJam, here to give you some NBA player props for today. And yes, this video is out a little bit later than you are used to. My apologies for that. Yes, the Super Bowl sucked and that was not fun, but we just have to move on. And we will do so by hammering some sharp, mathematically profitable player props. So I got 5 for you guys today that obviously I think are very good. 4 of them I found on the OddsJam positive EV page. The 5th one I actually found on the OddsJam Arbitrage page, which is another avenue in which you can find profitable bets. I can get into that. But the first play that we're going to go ahead and lock in here. Actually, before I get into that, real quick, I would appreciate it while I'm at the beginning if you could just like the video, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel if you have not yet already, and then shoot me a comment. Let me know if you're tailing these, if you're fading these, what you think of the picks. And then if you want to find me on the social medias, you can at my Twitter handle you see on the screen here, Jedi Modi. Now, let's get into it. First play. Draymond Green under 6.5 assists. This play is at plus 120 odds at PointsBet. So this one has already been locked in, as you can see here. For those of you who have been watching know that this PointsBet has me heavily limited, so I could only get $2.08 on this one. But for those of you that are not heavily limited, this should be 3/4 of a unit. That's kind of what I put on all of these player props. So the reason why this play is profitable and is even showing up on the EV page in general is all because of these no vig odds here. Now, people who have been tuning in to the OddsJam YouTube channel, which if so, I appreciate you, already know this, but it's all derived, the profitability is all derived from these no vig odds you see in this column here. So you see like every single positive EV play, you see the column for the no vig odds. You can view this as the true line of what a market should truly be priced at, right? It's basically giving you the most accurate representation of a market. And if you want the answer why, I have positive EV detailed in a positive EV, detailed in a video that you see pop up on the screen here that you can click. I recommend checking out after this one. I'm going to try and start doing that moving forward. So I know people have been getting frustrated that I'm just explaining the same thing over and over again in every video. It's mostly for the new listeners or new viewers, and I do think it's important to understand. But yeah, so I recommend checking out that video. I detail all about positive EV. So the stuff that I look for outside of just something showing up on the positive EV page, if you just click wherever, you see where my mouse is like highlighted blue. If you just click your mouse, it pulls up where every sportsbook is pricing odds for this play. And the main thing that I look for, so this is unique from every single betting opportunity, right? Like I don't just blindly bet without looking into it. I like to look and see where the bet I'm placing compares to the rest of the betting markets. Basically, I'm trying to determine if the bet that I'm placing is an outlier or not compared to the majority of sportsbooks. In this case, the answer is yes. So we can ignore Prize Picks and Monkey Knife Fight because they're DFS companies, same implied odds for every play. Ignore them. Look at every other book. Play Maverick, some random sports book here in Colorado, plus 100. Bet Online, which is known as a very sharp sports book, so definitely give them heavier weight than normal. Pricing this at plus 107, 13 cents lower. DraftKings, plus 100. Caesars, minus 104. BetMGM, plus 100. All of these sports books have it priced, except for PointsBet, ranging from minus 104 up to plus 107. This plus 120 is a clear outlier compared to the majority of sportsbooks. And for those of you who are wondering why that's even important, you just have to think about it from almost just like a logical, not sports betting situation. If every single sportsbook except for one is priced one way, and then another one is basically charging it for a cheaper price than every other sportsbook, like this PointsBet is giving us higher payout than literally every other sportsbook for this play. The most likely scenario here is that PointsBet just has this mispriced and it should truly be priced below this number. And when I say below, I mean more likely to occur, aligning with the other sportsbooks. And more often than not, if you can take advantage of situations like this, it will be profitable. Now, I'm not saying you're going to win every single bet. You're not going to profit every single day, week, month. I'm in the midst of outside of yesterday, the Super Bowl sucked for a lot of reasons, but at least my bets did really, really well. But prior to that, I was in a 4-day slump And it sucked. It wasn't fun. That's just the nature of the beast, the nature of variance. But in the long run, I've been wildly profitable using OddsJam. And in the long run, I know that that's just a downswing of variance and that upswing is coming soon. So something to keep in mind if you are in the midst of a down streak. But the next one we're going to lock in is DeMar DeRozan over 23.5 points. This is at plus 108 odds at Caesars. This bet has been locked in as well, as you can see right here. DeMar DeRozan over 23.5 points. Was able to get the full $75 on this one. Caesars doesn't have me limited. So the OddsJam perfect line, the true line of this is priced at about plus 105.5. Caesars pricing it up at plus 108. And the reason why I like this one, same reason as before. And again, I do this for every single bet that I place, whether I'm doing it on the video, on a live stream, or just when I just find myself having downtime and I'm hammering bets. I click into every single play. Even from my phone, I do it. Compare the plus 108 to the rest of the sports books. And let's start with the sharp ones. Pinnacle, generally regarded as the sharpest sportsbook in the world. Not the source of truth, not the end-all be-all, given heavyweight. They actually favor this over. They have the over priced at minus 118, the under at minus 112. So they think that the over is the more likely scenario. So they're charging more money for the over. And then Bet Online, not as favorable as Pinnacle, but still minus 109, 11 cents lower than the Caesars line. Then I like to look at both FanDuel and DraftKings. They generally do a pretty good job with player props. Now, I'm not saying that I will avoid player props on these two platforms if it's good. I'm just saying that they generally are pretty good with player props. Minus 108, minus 105. And then the rest of the books, like BetRivers favors the over. PointsBet has it at 50-50. We're getting it for plus 108, which means that if we win half our bets, we will be profitable. We don't even have to win half our bets to be profitable, which is why I love betting on plus money plays. So this is leg number 2. DeMar DeRozan over 23.5 points. Next up, I know that it's kind of risky to back a similar play for the same player, like we're taking his over points, and then his next play, his over points, rebounds, assists. But if it's plus EV, I'm going to take it, and more often than not, it'll work out in your favor. That's kind of my logic towards this. So another play that I locked in here, DeMar DeRozan over 33.5 points, rebounds, assists, plus 108 odds at Caesars. Similar logic here. OddsJam perfect line at plus 106. Pinnacle, again, favors the over. BetRivers is close to 50-50. But either way, every other sportsbook, none of them has it for closer than minus 105, which would be DraftKings. BetOnline at minus 106. I mentioned DraftKings. FanDuel at minus 106 as well. A couple others, minus 110, minus 112. Clearly an outlier here. This plus 108 at Caesars. So I hit it 3/4 of a unit. And then my last play on the positive EV page. And I will say, when you see me skip a play, it's just because I don't deem it as good enough outlier, something that I am confident betting, or the odds just changed in general. Sometimes, like this Terry Rozier one, the odds changed. It was plus 125. Now it's plus 115. But for another example, like the DeMar DeRozan one, I just didn't like the outlier. So when you see me skip a play, that's why. One play I didn't skip, Julius Randle under 2.5 made 3-pointers, plus 118 odds at FanDuel. So this one I was able to get the full 3/4 of a unit on. This one I did lock in. Same thing here. I don't need to beat around the bush or continue it. Pinnacle minus 101, BetOnline plus 104, DraftKings plus 100. PointsBet is the only book that is closer to the FanDuel line, but every other book is kind of close to even money, like ranging from, Caesars is all the way down to minus 111 up to plus 105. So this plus 118, still a good price. So that's my fourth play. I got one more that I mentioned. I bet on the arbitrage page. So an arbitrage basically means you can bet both sides of the line and be profitable. Like in this case, you could bet both Anthony Edwards over and under 3.5 made 3-pointers, and you would make about 0.78%. So if I bet $100, I'd make 78 cents, which is not, you're not breaking the bank, but it's guaranteed money. But you can also use the arbitrage page to see if one of these sportsbooks is a clear outlier, which would make it a profitable betting opportunity. So I just took this one straight up. And clearly, look at Anthony Edwards over 3.5 made 3-pointers, plus 180 on DraftKings. Look at the other three books, plus 136, plus 138, plus 135. This is clearly an outlier, clearly mispriced by DraftKings. So I hit it. I would have loved to put 75 bucks on it, but I can only get $5.02. Thank you, DraftKings. But it's still a really, really good play. So that I also like using the arbitrage page to find profitable bets. It's really valuable. So that's going to be it. 5 NBA player props for you guys today. We'll do a recap on how things go in tomorrow's video. But for now, appreciate you guys watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit me up on social media. And that's it. So again, thanks for watching and have a good one.